Hey everybody, Bones here, Bones Garage, just bringing you update what's going on at the garage. So, 1958 Chevy Apache. We have a lot done and we're finding a lot of problems with this truck. Problems we weren't expecting to find. And one of those problems is with the transmission. When we put it into gear, now it doesn't happen every single time, but more often than not, when you put it into gear, it will stall the truck. You have to hold the brake with both feet to try and keep the truck from moving, and then it will stall the truck. Now, this is our transmission. This is a 4L80E transmission that we have in here. Very good transmission, tough transmissions. They are a turbo 400 with an overdrive, is basically what they are. They actually share a lot of components from the 400 to the 4L80E. So what we're finding is the wiring to this transmission was not done right. We have an ECU. We're looking to make sure that it does have it. We're checking the part numbers, but we're looking to make sure this ECU has I believe has a good TCM in it, which is a transmission control unit module. So we believe it has a good one in it that can control all our line pressures, our solenoids, our lockup for our converter, all that kind of fun stuff that these transmissions need to be controlled. The wiring that we have doesn't seem to be going where it needs to be. It seems to be going to the wrong places in the ECU. If we find that the ECU just has a rudimentary transmission controller, we're going to get a standalone transmission controller. And what is happening is the torque converter acts like a clutch. Like when you're driving a standard and you come to a stop, you push in on the clutch, it disengages the motor from the transmission, allowing the rear wheels not to turn. When you release the clutch, it connects the motor to the transmission, allowing the rear wheels to turn. With this truck, when you put it into gear, it immediately wants to take off hard. It's not like there's slip in the torque converter that there should be, like a clutch would have. It feels like the lockup for the overdrive inside the torque converter is staying locked and creating the drivetrain to want to stay and go into gear. And one of the things we've really noticed is if you look inside this transmission pan, you see that pile right there? That's clutch material. You see that pile right there? That is also clutch material, and that's a pretty large pile there. Now, if we push the fluid forward, you will see all that little glitter? Yeah, that's clutch material and steel material, and you can see how much clutch material is in here. This supposedly is a brand new transmission. There should not be that much clutch material in it. And this fluid should not look like coffee. It should look much cleaner. It should be nice, bright red. So we have something going on. We have to figure out where all of the wiring is going to. What is it connected to? Where in the ECU is it? Is it even in the ECU right now? So we're looking into all of this now. The next thing I wanted to show you is we now have the turbo and the exhaust system all off. And one of the things that we noticed is every one of these V-band clamps is leaking. And this one's leaking really bad. You can see because it has the black all the way around it, all the black soot. Same thing with that one there. And this one's leaking somewhat bad. Now, this is the way this flange should look. See how nice and clean that is? That should not be there. That's an exhaust leak. So somehow all of these flanges are warped. We got to see if we can flatten them out and use them over again, or are we going to have to just build a whole new system for them? The next thing I wanted to show you is the spark plugs. Look at how rich these things are running. These are really on the rich side. They are very carboned up. And you see how black they are? Yeah, it shouldn't look like that. Also, these are our exhaust gaskets. And again, it should look like this, or like this part of the gasket right here. See how nice and clean all that is? This one had a little bit of a leak right in here, but you can see they're not all clean. See how bad these two are? We had leaks everywhere on that side of the motor. That's the driver's side. This is the passenger side. This is the way it should look. Here we have a leak. Here we have a leak. Here doesn't look that bad either. Not terrible, but you know, it should be a little bit better. So we're also going to do some different catch can stuff. We're going to do some work with the turbo. We might even change this turbo. This is one of those kind of cheap eBay turbos. They're a bearing type turbo. They're really not that great. You will get a lot of oil burn through them, and they don't have a very good longevity. But if we have to, we will use it over again until he's ready for us to put a different one on. Because if we do a different one, we're going to be changing all of the exhaust system. We're going to be changing our blow-offs. We're going to be changing all the routing of the intake system. We're going to put a cooler on it. It's going to have a water cooler put on it. So it will be a water-cooled turbo. It'll run off of the cooling system of the truck. And we also have our oil drain back line, and you can see it is kinked really badly. We're not even touching anything, and you can see how badly it just doesn't even want to come out of being kinked. So this thing was also starving for oil. So we're not sure. We're going to talk to the customer tomorrow, see what he says, and then we'll go over all of this with him. We'll see what happens. Like I said, we ran into more problems than we expected, and once again, this is par for the course in this business. This is what happened. So there you go, guys. Long video. Wow, really long video. So I'm going to cut this one short. Talk to you soon. Have fun. Okay, bye.